Now we start understanding an insurance policy by filling out an application for insurance that we talked about somewhat in the course number 1. The application is designed and used by insurers to understand that you, the person seeking insurance, is asking for an offer for insurance that will protect it against certain liabilities. And therefore the application contains information that is needed by the insurer to determine if the applicant is an appropriate risk. Now, some insurers use standard form applications, which are consistent throughout the industry. Some use manuscripted type applications that ask particular questions that are particular to the types of risks that insurer insures. And it relies upon, and has every right to rely upon, you, the person who seeks to be insured, for sufficient information to allow it to determine whether it is willing to insure you against those particular risks of loss. And in so doing, it tells the insurer the name of the person seeking insurance. And if it wants to do additional investigation, it could go to Google or Bing or any one of the hundreds of search engines to see what it can learn about you that is publicly available. It might even go to your social sites like LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter to find out other information about you, which it couldn't find out without your full name. It tells the insurer the various liability exposures you face. It tells them about your claims history, and it gets representations concerning you that the insurer needs to make its decision. If the application provides information sufficient for the insurer to decide whether it's willing to accept the risk or not, it will simply issue an offer. If it doesn't provide enough information or spaces are left blank, the underwriter who is charged with making a decision at an insurance company as to who it would insure and who it would not, then will send an email or a fax or a letter asking for additional information, such as you report a loss on April 6, 2016. Please give me the details of what happened that caused the loss and what was the result of the claim presented to your prior insurer. If everything is fine, if they think they have enough information and they can rely on the truthfulness of your answers in the application, the insurer will make an offer to insure. And that offer will describe the coverages available, and it will advise the prospective insured. For example, we will insure against your exposure to claims of bodily injury, property damage, personal injury, with limits of liability of $1 million if you pay a premium of $1,350 a year. It's a simple, straightforward offer. You, as the insured, then have the opportunity to either accept the offer as written or propose a counter offer where you are making a change in the policy or in the premium paid. Then the insurer can either accept or reject your counteroffer. You and the insurer can also agree on limitations of the coverages provided. You could do this, and the insurer will add or subtract certain exclusions, that is, statements in the policy, refusing to insure against certain specific risks of loss, such as they refuse to insure against the risk of loss of an assault or battery by you or any of your employees, or they refuse to accept the risk of loss of injuries caused by your negligently polluting property, or they could exclude the risk of loss of your defaming someone. They can exclude or include coverage as they wish. The offer might also contain conditions, promises made by the insured that must be met before insurance can apply. These conditions could include things like the hiring of a risk manager, or the conducting of safety meetings monthly at your locations of work, or of hiring security guards to protect your patrons. They might also attach warranties. Warranties are more strict conditions where the materiality of the promise made in the condition is presumed, and where the basis of the insurance policy itself is the warranties, so that if you warrant that you will only sell your product in the United States, and you have a loss resulting from the sale of a product, say, in Bangladesh, you will find there is no coverage for the injury caused by that product sold in Bangladesh. The offer is almost always made in writing, although it can be oral. It explains all of the types of coverage to be provided. It explains the amount of premium the insurer requires to be paid as consideration. It explains the conditions that must be met by the insured before the policy comes into effect, such as a signed application that is attached to and forms a part of the policy. And then that offer is presented to you, and you can either accept or reject the offer. Now, when there is more than one offer, after submission of an application to multiple insurers, you as the insured or your broker acting on your behalf can compare the various offers. And as you compare them, you determine which offer provides the most coverage for the lowest price. And if you can't do that, or your risk manager feels unable to do that properly, then seek the advice and counsel of your agent or broker to review the various offers and determine which is best for you based on the coverages provided and the premiums expected. You should also compare the economic viability of each insurer making an offer. Check the best rating of the insurer and hope that it has at least an A or A+ rating. Check with the insurance department in your state for the rating of the insurer. Determine whether that insurer has been admitted to do business in the state and is protected by an insurance insolvency statute. Check whether the insurer has been disciplined by the Department of Insurance for its wrongdoing to members of the public. All of these things should go into your consideration of whether or not to accept an offer of settlement or an offer of insurance. After completing the analysis of the various offers, you as the prospective insured can accept one of the offers, reject all of the offers, or make counter offers to see if you can get a better deal by reducing the coverages available or by reducing the premium you're willing to pay.
Sales. The most important part in this business. Sales. Without it, we're nothing. With it, we can make a lot of money. This is the way we are going to pay everything. This is the way we're going to pay us. So, sales consist in the performing of several activities that are identify prospects. This means that you have to identify the potential advertisers for your magazine. Approach the prospect. You have to go there. Sometimes the first time you will not find the right guy or the manager, but you have to make it count the first visit. You have to, if the manager or the business owner is not available at that time, you have to find out everything or as much as you can. You can ask what's his name or what's her name, what time you can come back to find them, and if they are advertising currently in another like magazine or newspapers or radio station, you have to ask them just to find out some things before to interview with the prospect, which is the next. And in the interview, you have to ask him about it. You have to present your media kit, which we will talk later about it. You have to talk to him or talk to her about your magazine. Everything, all the details about your magazine, you have to give him in the interview. So you have to propose next one. You have to propose something, give him a good price, trying to impress him about how nice is your magazine and all that. And then if everything goes the right way, you have to demonstrate would be to bring a proof of the ad, a design. We have to design an ad for him, and we have to put a lot of effort here because we have to impress with the ad. It has to be very nice in order to close the sale. Next one is negotiate. We have to give him a good price. He always business owners, it's a very weird thing if they don't, but always they try to pay less. This is the negotiation. You can go down on your price, but if they stay longer in your magazine. We will talk about contracts later, but that's the idea. And I would add this close because you have to close, and that's when you make a sale. You bring an advertiser for your magazine. And then there is another step, which is support. Support is visit them. Like if your magazine is printed every month, like mine, you can print it every 15 days or whatever your needs are. So if your magazine is printed every month, you have to come back and see what's going on with his business. Ask him about if he needs any change for the next issue on the ad. And that support, trying to not sell and go away and never come back. I mean, you have to keep coming back. You have to keep calling about what's going on with his business and ask him if he needs any changes or if he needs anything. I mean, they need to feel that you are with them because they are putting money on something. They are investing money with your ad. you have to make them feel like you care about it. So those are the steps for sales. There's something else that we have to be aware of since we're gonna be the first salesman for our magazine is we have to know our magazine very well. 100%, every detail. What is the concept of the magazine? How many pages does it have? When we print it and what are the deadlines? How many copies of the magazine we print? Where are the points of distribution all over the city? That's the way we have to work. We have to become a perfect salesman. And how to do that? First, dress to impress. Once you know every detail of your magazine, you have to be perfectly dressed, always clean. And I'm not joking about this, I'm trying to be very serious. You don't have to be with the suit and tie every day, but you have to dress well. You have to be clean. You have to impress, impeccable. This will give trust to the owners of the business that we approach. And to be clean, to be well dressed, to know every detail of our magazine, that will make us feel secure about ourselves. And that will allow us to do all the sales process the right way. So we have to take this seriously. Now you own your own business. You work for yourself. Now you are the owner of a magazine. So you have to look like it. You have to look like the owner of a magazine. You have to speak for your magazine. So you have to look well. You have to look impeccable. So keep in mind these things and we will succeed. Know your magazine, dress well, comply with the steps for sales, and everything will go the right way and the right direction. Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn to use the Polygonal Lasso and the Lasso Tool. So let me show you how the Polygonal Lasso works. This is a tool that it is useful to select certain areas of the workspace. But this is just like the marquee tool, but this is to make like custom forms. If we paint this form, we are going to have that form. I don't know for what we are going to use it, but we can just draw it. Okay, so let's say that I want to make like this kind of a, I don't know what it is, but I'm just telling you how this works. And in future videos we are going to learn how to draw some objects with this tool. This is a very interesting tool, but I'm just showing you the basic forms that we can draw with this tool. So then I have the lasso tool. This is used to, if we keep pressing the left button of the mouse and we just drag it around and give a form, it will we can draw anything. It's like a pen and it will select certain area and it will, we can just paint like this. Let me show you. I'll try to draw something like an eye. Okay, let's say that this is an eye. Doesn't look like an eye, but if we add some, let's say, let's like an eyeball like this, so we can give forms. We can get some forms and just use them to draw objects. I'm not gonna draw an eye right now because there's gonna be a future video where we are going to learn how to draw um, real objects. So I'm just trying to teach you how to use this particular tool. But this will be very interesting, but because we have a picture right here. And we are going to learn, since we are learning how to use the lasso tool, we are going to teach you the magnetic lasso tool. And let me show you how this tool works. I will try to go around the edge of this guy standing right here, because I will try to remove the background that is just behind him. So just check this out. I Because this magnetic tool is very interesting, because it just, since the name is magnetic, but it um, kind of is like a magnet uh, for the pixels of the form that I am giving it, and it goes just around the pixels that I am showing or following. As you can see, this is kind of, look, check this out. It kind of is like a magnet. I am doing it that on purpose, but it goes around just like a magnet. Okay, it wasn't perfect selection, but I can fix this with the Polygonal Lasso tool. As you can see, I need to take off this area, some here, some over here, some here. But I will use this zoom tool to make sure everything's okay. I'm not gonna worry about this. I don't want that to be perfect. I will use I will I don't need the magnetic lasso tool, because I already made this unperfect selection, but I will perfect it with this polygonal lasso. So if I click the if I press the shift key, click and drag here, I have to keep pressing the shift key and just drawing it. It will add this to this selection. Let me show you. This works the same thing. And if I have this selected, they add to the selection. I don't need to keep pressing the shift key. I'm just trying to show you some core shortcuts. If I have, if I don't want, I mean, I need this to be here, right on the jacket. So I need to unselect this area. So I will push this subtract. I have to subtract this area. So that way it is right, following the pixels of the jacket. Here I need to add to the selection. So I have to drag here inside of the jacket, and then I can go around of the edge of the jacket. So this is not very difficult, and believe me, we are going to need to do this several times with our pictures. I need to subtract a little bit here. I don't want it to be perfect, but I am just trying to show you how the polygonal lasso works. And as you can see, this is a very interesting tool, because we can actually leave it perfect. Seriously, perfect pictures with all the background removed. We can change the background. We can put the background that we want. And actually, I don't use it that much. Sometimes when I edit some pictures for the cover, but that's it. Okay, just I'll leave that way. Right now, I will focus on this area. I need to subtract this. And actually, you need some practice to make it perfect. You need to practice several times, and then you will be an expert. And I don't want to say like me, because seriously, I'm not an expert. I have some friends that they are real experts here in Photoshop. I know to use, let's say that 80% of this powerful application like is Photoshop. But I know enough to draw objects, to create ads. Oh, sorry. And here I will go around the workspace, and it will select the area anyways, as you can see. Well, it's not showing it, but it will. Okay, now here I'm going to do something very interesting. So I need you to pay attention. I have selected this guy, the guy right here, not everything else, just this guy. I will go to select, and then I will inverse this selection. So this way everything else will be selected but the guy. So I have to, so I can delete everything else but the guy. So I press delete, and that's it. We just have to deselect this, go into select and deselect, or just Control D. So this way I will create a new layer, and I will paint that layer dark, black, all black. As you can see, since this layer is on top of this guy, it is covering it. But I will just click and drag it, and that's it. So I can move the guy right here, and I can place, if I want to, some text right here. So that way we are going to learn to create ads. Maybe this guy, since he's holding a camera, and if we want to make like an ad for a photographer, we can just someone like this, and make put the features of what he offers here on the side, and just use this picture to illustrate, since we already got the background and everything. So that's it for the Lasso Tool, Polygonal Lasso Tool, and Magnetic Lasso Tool. Let's create the pages that we will illustrate the young lady in the cover. So let's create something like this, because it's gonna be something like this. Just trying to figure out how to do it. Okay, here I will bring Control D one of the pictures of this young lady that I have on the cover. Try with this one. So let me make this zoom out a little bit. If I click here the zoom tool, I can, if I press Alt, I can zoom out a little bit, so I have more space here. So I will click in the middle to select the picture right there. Then I will do something like this. I can choose the arrows also. And look, if the image is right there. We can see the brown lines out here. The image is right there. If we pull this out, we can see it, or we can cover it. The image is not moving. What we are moving is the container here, the placeholder. So I will take this like this. I will make sure this is line right there. Okay, let me go and switch the view. That's fine. So let me look. I'm not sure how am I gonna do it, because I will give to this color of, this is gonna be just like a background. But I don't really like that one, so I will do something like this. I will send this to back, arrange, right click, send to back, and I will select both and I will lock them. So both of them are selected, are locked in, so I don't move them. Let me switch to this view. That's gonna look that way. So let's say that she send the me, go back to type 2, click here inside and type placeholder. Let's change the font to Times New Roman. I'll choose the bold italic. Try to raise a little bit. I will increase the space between the lines, and I will increase a little bit the lines, the space between lines, and the font also. So let's imagine that she sent me this text, and this text is about her, and you know what I mean, right? Or let's imagine that this is an important lady related with everything in your city, and okay. So we are going to change here to paragraph mode, and we are going to make this capital with 2 lines. These 2 lines, so that we are going to make that letter bigger. This is going to be like an A, something like that. Okay, let me just placeholder here, because we're going to place the name of this young lady here. So her name is Tiare. I'll change this to character. Look, I will try to get a new font. Super nice font. Okay, so if you don't know how to get fonts, go back to the video that says how to get fonts. Okay, that's fine. So this is her name. It's a nice name. Don't get me wrong. No, I don't really like that font, so let me go back. Let me try one that I have in mind, but I can't find it. Petridge Thin, this one. Okay, this one's nice. Okay. Let me switch to this view. I will have to make this. Okay, I have an idea. Let me change that view with the W. I will draw here like background for her, for that text. So I will send this back, and since this is locked, I will unlock it, and I don't see the lock here, so I can go back to objects and unlock all on spread. So I got it, and I will send this to back to get my background right there. So I will lock this again and lock this. Switch to view, and well, looks okay. Looks okay to me. Let's draw a little small line here. No, let me draw like a small rectangle. That's gonna be pink also. It's just to make a view, you know, something different. Okay, let's go and get more picture. If we want to add something and we don't want to use any placeholder, we can always go to, without selecting anything, click on the white space here, just in order to deselect everything, go to file and then place, and then add things. To the workspace right here. So you guys have to make sure to click here to deselect anything. Go file and then place, and then just use the pictures that we haven't used on the cover or this one. So I think this is gonna be alright. I'm not sure if there is one more over there. Look, I will align them all. Same size, and I will align them with this, selecting oh, let me just, with this, make sure it fits right. Pull them up. So I will align them, selecting them, and then with this, they are perfectly aligned. I just wanted to make sure. Anyways, InDesign kind of tells me when something is aligned. Check these green lines. So InDesign is telling me that if I release that image over there, it will be perfectly aligned with the rest of the elements on the workspace. So let me make sure they all fit here. Okay, if they are out of the container, but if I, with the three of them, selected, I can fit them all once. So let me check, do this. I will reduce the space here. And then just pull them to the right side. Save. And I will get another container with 2 columns. And let's, with the type tool, click here inside and let's figure out that she's saying more stuff about her. Got this and place it right here. And I will put more this. I want just that looks like real text. I'll double click here. And I will just check this out. I will use this and I will save this style in paragraph styles. Just going here and new one. I can rename this paragraph style and boost the array. So if I select this and just click the array, the letters are gonna be exactly like the other one, this one. I'll do the same with this, but I don't want any of this here, so I will click here, go to paragraph mode, and same here. So let's skip. I'm just erasing some text because it's sending me here an error that the text just is bigger than the placeholder. And I do want the text to fit perfectly in the placeholder. Let me pull this up. But I will need this. Or no, you know what? There's one here, and I think with one it's gonna be enough. So let's duplicate this one. And let's I will make this to look like a quote that she said. I know what you mean. Life, it's been good, thanks. let me add this. Maybe I can change the font. Like that font. Let's try that one. I don't really like that one, but let's always try to do different things. And let's do something else so you can have a better idea how to do stuff like that. Let me add this color of that's good. I will send it to the back with the right click and then send to back. And let me unlock this again with object, unlock all spread. Let's take this to the back and then I will lock it again. Let me switch here. So I think it looks good. Let me duplicate this, click Alt and drag this. And let's change the color. Save it. So what do you think? It will fit everything on the screen with Control Alt and 0. So what do you think? Let me know. You know how to contact me via my Facebook group, facebook.com/toxicstudio, or well, you know, my social media channels. Tell me what do you think about this, how did you do, and check this out. You should be proud of yourself by now, because check what we have done here. This is a whole magazine. Different type of ads, sections, classified ads also, and your back cover. So I really like what we have done here. So this is it for now. We are going to create something else very important too in the next video. Hello guys, in this video we are going to learn how to change the style of the layers. Okay, I have a text here, the name of my magazine, an image and a circle, and we are going to start with the text because this I will deactivate this and I will deactivate this so I can work just with the text. And this is something that we are going to be working on a lot. So we just double click. If we double click here on the name, it will open it, because Photoshop will think that we want to change the name. So we have to double click right, like down there, or right on this side. So okay, let's check all the options that we have here. It's bevel and emboss, and let's check how this works. Maybe we don't notice that much, but something is changing with the text. Let me just it becomes kind of a 3D text if you check. Let me show it to you. I will zoom a little bit. If you see, I apply this effect, bevel and emboss. Let me remove it because I deactivated the visibility of that particular style, and I will bring it back so we can notice the change. I will open the layer style again. So I just click here, emboss. I put the size 10 and soften. I will make it softer. As you can see, it goes and it becomes a little harder. We can see the edge, or we can soft a little bit the edge. It looks pretty nice. And just let me change the stroke here. We are going to apply this stroke, and we are going to give it a thickness of 7 pixels. The position will be outside. We can change it inside. We're not going to be able to see it. It is this way, center, or outside. It's better outside. The blend mode, we are going to keep it normal. The opacity, as you can see, we can just take it away or make a little with some opacity. We're going to keep it 100%. Fill type will be color. We are going to see gradient and pattern in a minute. So, but we are going to change the color stroke blue. We're going to keep it blue. And we can apply an inner shadow. I will deactivate the bevel so you can see the inner I will deactivate this too. So you can see the inner shadow. In this text, the shadow is color black, but I will put it white. If we see, there is an inner shadow here, and we can change the orientation of that shadow, just moving the angle. We can change the distance of that inner shadow, the choke, and the size of the shadow. And it goes like this because this is a color. I can change this color and it becomes, actually that looks pretty cool. So that is the way it is. We can apply like an inner glow. I can go like this. Actually, I'm gonna change the stroke. I will do it black, but I will go 2 pixels, no, 4 pixels. 3, 5, 8. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. Okay, so satin, it applies a little satin. The opacity will be 100%. Blend mode normal, and it is almost the same thing. It just dark it a little bit, the text. I just want you to have an idea how to play with this, and I want you to explore this more and more so you can learn more stuff. And it is pretty interesting though. I will deactivate satin for now, but if you see it get a little bit dark, or it applies like a little layer of something dark, or this color, whatever it is, you can change it like this or like that. Actually, that looks good. And these is the overlay color. Since we were messing around with satin, we use this color. Actually, we applied a inner shadow like purple, and the overlay color is white. But I'll take it. I'll put it black, so that way it looks a little more purple here, but maybe red or blue. I can just change color the way I want. And a gradient. If I want to use a gradient, okay, if you guys got all this, I will deactivate all this because this is something that we are going to be doing very often. Stroke will be red, okay, and color, overlay color will be, let's say, green. No, not green. Gray. Okay, no. The stroke will be, I don't like that red. It's too red. Will be this gray. And the overlay color will be, yeah, green. This, I like this green. Okay, so this is like a uniform color. And gradient color is like a gradient color. So I can just change the gradient, just clicking here, or change the opacity of the color. If I change the opacity here, it will take the color that originally is. Since it is black, let me deactivate the bevel. So the original color of the text is black. If I apply a gradient, say like this, let's make a stroke. If I apply the gradient, it is going to be like that, right? But if I want to move the opacity here, it will bring back the original color. But if I change the overlay color to red, and if I move the opacity here, okay, if I move the opacity here and the overlay color, it will get the gradient color. So I can change with this. If I say that I have this here and I have a red here, I can move the opacity a little bit so it blends with this gradient color. But then it looks nice, right? And it looks like, I don't know, orange or brown. Looks nice. Okay, then we have pattern. Okay, let me explain something else about gradient colors. Okay, gradient color. If I click here in this little icon, it will open some other options of gradients, and I will be able to change some other ways. But if I want to, let's say that I took this, but I want to change the colors or whatever, I have to click here and just trying to get the color that I want. And I can click actually here, right here, and take this, or double click here and just get the color that I want, that I'm looking for. Double click there, and I want some, like a mix of only pinks. Yeah, that'll be nice. And if I like this, I have to just press new, and that new gradient I will be saved here. That's what I have done. That's why I have so many options. That's what I have done, and that's pretty cool because if you really like it, and let's clear the style. If I really liked it, I just can go and get that gradient that I just created anytime. I just have to apply the stroke again, and that's it. So what else we have here? Let's say we have an outer glow. That's pretty cool because let me show you. Let's say I'm gonna draw here a square, and I will create a new layer, but that layer I will put it just below the text because I want that square to be right behind the text. Okay, I will choose dark gray and I will paint it like that. So if I apply, and I do that a lot, an outer glow, say that it will be white, or not white, I will do it like that. See? Okay, I'm gonna use this blue. It looks like lights, right? Outer glow. And then let me remove the glow. I can draw like a shadow. And let me change this color of this layer to not white, to no, something clear. Yeah, that would be good. Okay, this text I will apply a drop shadow. I will move the distance a little bit. As you can see, a shadow comes up. But I will do it like a real shadow. If I move the size, it gets a little hard, and this soften it a little bit. So that's it. It simulates that text is kind of on top of some surface, because this shadow. So that'll be it with text. I will place this right there, and we can do the same things with any of these type of objects. As you can see, we can play around with these things. Let me change the stroke. I will use blue color, but I will change this. Actually, I will apply a pattern, which I didn't do in any of this. And they are the default patterns. It comes with a Photoshop. It just takes the pattern and applies it to the surface of the object. It's pretty cool, but I don't use it very often. But if you guys want to try, just go ahead and explore here a little bit more. So gradient, same thing. If I want to go and get that pink that I just created earlier, I just got it right here. And I will apply an outer glow white. No, black. Since the background is transparent, I will apply a black outer glow. it looks more like a shadow, but you have an idea what it is. Okay, so I here have an image. Too much pink, right? I will change this to blue because we already have that text pink, and I have pretty nice blue here, and I will change this stroke to gradient. Let me show you how to do it. Field type, instead of color, we are going to change this to gradient, so we can, or you know what, I'll try to simulate. This is made with metal, this button, not metal, right? But well, I'll leave it like that. Well, it looks better. Okay, images. When I change the style of some images, of course I will not change the overlay color or all that. No, because that will mess up the image. I just apply a stroke, and I always make sure that stroke to be inside, position to be inside, and to be black, white. I mean, I will increase a little bit the size, and I just plus apply a little shadow. Just to make her, just to make it look like a real picture, you know. And that's it. That's all I do with images. That's pretty much all that we can do with images, because we are going to mess up the if we change the overlay color, or if we made pattern or gradient. There's no way to do that with images. So that was basically the style of the layers. That's what we can do. I want you to practice, because this is what we are going to be doing when designing the ads. Hello everybody, welcome to InDesign. I'm just going to tell you first that InDesign CS4 or CS5 or CC, the newest, works perfectly for the magazine that we are going to design here. So this is the interface of InDesign. This is the way it looks, and as you can see here, there is the last items that we have been working on, and here in the left hand we have a toolbar like the one we have in Photoshop. As you can see, when we select any of these tools, the up here, the panel up there changes, because that we are going to modify this tool in order to get the results that we want. We can actually click for 1 second, and this little square will pop up and will give us some options. So I actually don't use just a few of these tools to design my magazine, and we will see when we add content to the document that we don't need to be experts to design a nice magazine. We don't need to know with detail all of these tools, and you will realize that eventually. So right now we are going to create a new document. So we are going to go to File, and then New, and then Document. So this is a preset that I have, but I will not use that one. we will use a print intent here. Okay, and our magazine is gonna be, it's not gonna be 32, that's too many for this example. When you are ready to create your real magazine, you will decide if you want 32 pages or more or less. So for our example, we are going to have 24, no, 22, I'm sorry, no, 20, yeah, 20. Okay, and orientation is gonna be portrait this way, and page size letter, this magazine will be as the same as mine. So width is gonna be 8.5. We're gonna put here 10.5. Columns number 1, gutter is gonna be the same. Margins gonna be 0.25 inches, all of them, and bleed and slug is gonna be 0.25 inches. This is gonna be 0. And so the way it is right now is the way we are going to create our example. Okay, when you guys are ready to design your magazine, you will decide if you will increase this number or decrease it or change or any of these. But this customization of this new document is going to give us a result, magazine like mine. Okay, we wait, and voila, we have our magazine here. We have 20 pages. I think that's too many pages, but that's okay. We'll take care of it. So this one will be the cover, and this one will be the back cover. Okay. So this is the way. If we are like this or something, or we zoom and we want to go back to the zoom, if we press Ctrl Alt 0, it will go and center that particular page, and that is something very useful for me, because I am always zooming in certain parts to adjust some squares or whatever, and if I want to get the whole point, because in Photoshop I just press the zoom tool and that fits screen, so it is just here I just press, if I press here the zoom tool, it doesn't give me any option to fit everything on the screen. I just have to go Ctrl Alt 0 and everything's going to be in normal size, or everything's gonna fit on the screen. So let me save this document. This is the American, I don't want that. I'm gonna save it, as you can see, in the root folder that we created, and I will save this in my magazine 1, and that's gonna be the Indesign file. Okay, so this is the interface of Indesign, and as you can see, it's not as difficult as we might thought. It's pretty much the same as Photoshop. As you can see, there are rectangles. We can paint this rectangle black, give it a yellow stroke. So that would be a rectangle. And we we can use that as a background. I'm gonna change this. We can use that as a background of the whole document. If we want to use a background, let me go Control Z, because I was rotating that. If we want to use a background with a particular image or color, we want to go all the way to the bleed, because in the printing company they will cut here, and if we want something to go all over the page all the time, they will ask us to cover it all the way to the bleed, the red line. So that would be a square. If we want to go to a view where don't show these lines, we want to press W. And as you can see, there's no bleed. There is just, let me go Control Alt 0 so I can center it. And as you can see, we can just see the look, what it is gonna be, the real magazine. Let me write something here with the type tool, like the Photoshop tool. But if I want to make this text bigger, I just want to go and push that button up, or if I need to reduce this, I just have to go down. Let me make this like a header. Okay, let me, it's my magazine. Okay, 48 points, no, 60. Okay, I will use this is the move tool as like the one in Photoshop. I will pull this in order to the text to fit right on that square. And if I want to reduce this square to the size of the text, I want to press this little icon here, and everything's going to reduce to the text that is right there. So let me do something else. I will draw this square is, let me go and press W so it shows everything. Okay, so this square here is a tool that I use a lot, because it's not a real square. It is more like a box where I can put anything, images, text, anything I want for give to my magazine a look. So let me show you how to use this. I'm going to erase this, and for the purpose of this example, I will lock this. Control Z to undo that, just to, because I want to work with same as Photoshop. I need to work with the rest of the objects, and I don't want that to move. So I will go Control right click anywhere on that item, and I will lock it so I don't move it. As you can see, I can unlock it here or lock it back. Okay, so I don't move it. So let me show you how this box works. I will write some text here, and I will use this, and I just need to click here and fill that with text. Let me find this fill with placeholder text. This is text that it is used for, it is more like to give examples. But let me erase. It doesn't say anything. It is just, as I told you, for give you an example how